Hello guys and welcome to another Tokyo Revengers video. And in this video, I will be talking about the newest episode of Tokyo Revengers. And this video will be an anime review for episode 28 of Tokyo Revengers, and this is the fourth episode of the second season. And this episode covers chapters 83, 84, 85, 86, and 87 of the Tokyo Revengers manga. And this episode is the fourth episode of the Black Dragons arc. In this video series, I will also be comparing the anime to the manga, and I will analyze these episodes to see if there were any scenes that were removed from the source material. And this episode was a very important episode for Hakkai and Mitsuya, and we get to learn a lot more about their relationship. Anyway guys, before I get into this video guys, please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more Tokyo Revengers videos. So let's get into the video now. So this episode starts off by showing us that Mitsuya is telling Hakkai that he will not allow him to leave Toman, and then Mitsuya told Hakkai to let him speak with Taiju. And the next part of this episode shows us the backstory of Hakkai and Mitsuya, and we see that Hakkai is beating up one of his classmates. However, at the last second we saw that someone grabbed Hakkai's hand, and he stopped Hakkai from punching his opponent. And then we learn that this person is actually Mitsuya, and Mitsuya said that Hakkai is going too far. And then Mitsuya started smiling at Hakkai, and he told him that violence should only be used to protect people. And then Mitsuya's little sister started crying, and Mitsuya reacted to this by trying to comfort his little sister. And then Hakkai started narrating this backstory, and he said that Mitsuya was a really weird guy with two little kids, and that is how he met Mitsuya for the very first time. So next the episode switches back to the current timeline, and in this scene Hakkai just said, "Mitsuya." And then Mitsuya asked Hakkai, "What is it?" And Hakkai said that maybe it is not a good idea to meet up with Taiju, and he thinks that nothing will get a good result out of him. And then Mitsuya started to turn around, and he asked Chifuyu and Takemichi why they are tagging along with him. And Takemichi just responded to this by saying that he is the person who got beaten up by Taiju. And Chifuyu said that he is keeping an eye on Takemichi because he is a moron. And Mitsuya just responded to this by saying, "Alright, that's fine." And the next part of this episode shows us a skyscraper, and this is the building where their meeting will take place. And then the episode shows us the meeting, and Mitsuya was telling Taiju that it is nice to meet him. And Taiju just responded by saying that Mitsuya is that fucker who has been manipulating his little brother. And then Mitsuya said that that is a crazy accusation. And Taiju responded to this by saying that he will kill Mitsuya. And then Taiju just asked Mitsuya what he wanted to talk about, and he also said to keep it short. And Mitsuya said that he is going to let Hakkai join the Black Dragons gang. And Taiju said that Mitsuya is hilarious, and he also said that he thought they came here to keep that from happening. And then Mitsuya told Taiju that in exchange for this deal, he has to set Yuzawa free. And then Mitsuya said that Taiju is forcing Yuzawa to do something for him. And then Mitsuya told Taiju that Hakkai has been protecting Yuzawa from his domestic violence. And in this moment we see that Taiju started grinning, and he said that this was a very funny joke. And in this moment the anime added a scene that was never in the manga, and in this scene Mitsuya was telling Hakkai to sit down, and then we see that Hakkai just sat down right next to Mitsuya. And then Mitsuya told Taiju that Hakkai is not leaving Toman because he is scared of him, and he also said that he is leaving Toman to protect Yuzawa. And Taiju reacted to this by getting very angry at Mitsuya, and Taiju tried to punch him in the face. However, we see that Mitsuya was able to block this attack, and this moment showed us that Mitsuya is very strong. And even Taiju admitted that Mitsuya is not bad. And in this moment the anime actually added a scene that was never in the manga, and in this scene Hakkai is having a nervous breakdown, and this edition really did a great job of showing us the anxiety that Hakkai is feeling in this moment. And then Mitsuya said that he will let Hakkai join the Black Dragons if Taiju decides to release Yuzawa. And Mitsuya also said that if he accepts these terms then Toman will leave the Black Dragons alone. And then Taiju shook hands with Mitsuya, and Taiju said that they will agree to this truce. And Taiju said that he has never committed any domestic violence, however despite this, he said that he will keep this promise. And the next part of this episode shows us this moment between Hakkai and Mitsuya, and Hakkai is saying thank you to Mitsuya. And then Mitsuya responded to this by telling Hakkai that no matter how hard things get, he should always use his strength to protect others. And then the next part of the episode switches back to the backstory of Hakkai and Mitsuya. And we see that Hakkai went to Mitsuya's house, and we get to see this very cute moment where Luna is running around the house, and Hakkai was just sitting at the table, and in the background we can see that Luna was chasing Mana. And Mitsuya told Luna to stop chasing Mana, and he also said that she will get all worked up. And then Mitsuya turned to Hakkai, and he apologized to him for all the commotion. And Hakkai responded by saying that it's fine. And then we see that Hakkai, Luna, and Mitsuya are all eating together, and Hakkai asked Mitsuya if he has any parents. And Mitsuya responded by saying that he only has his mother, however she always works really late so he always has to look after his little sisters. And then Hakkai started asking Mitsuya if it is hard for him to deal with this lifestyle. However, Mitsuya just started smiling at Hakkai, and then the episode switches back to the present timeline, and Mitsuya was telling Hakkai not to hate the life that he is born into. And in this scene we saw that Hakkai actually started crying, and this was a very emotional moment for his character. Anyway guys, this is where chapter 84 ends, and chapter 85 begins with Takemichi telling Chifuyu that he is going to return to the future. And Chifuyu said that the future probably hasn't changed, and he also called Takemichi a dumbass. And Takemichi said that Chifuyu is probably correct, and he also said that Chifuyu actually said something smart. And then in the next scene we see that Hakkai suddenly arrived on the scene, and he said that he has finally found Takemichi. And then Hakkai sat down to talk with Takemichi, and he asked Takemichi to tell Mitsuya that he is thankful. And then Hakkai started telling Takemichi about his complicated home life, and he said that they don't have a mother in their family, and he also said that their father is never home. And so because of this, Taiju Shiba was the person who controlled the household, and this is because he is the oldest sibling. And then Hakkai told us about the backstory of Taiju, and we learned that he has been a king ever since he was young. And Taiju was always bigger and stronger than all of the other children, and he was also a very charismatic person, and this allowed him to capture the hearts of his subordinates. And Hakkai goes on to say that Taiju is an expert at using violence, and he even ruthlessly beats up his own siblings. And in this moment we see that Taiju was telling Hakkai to get up, and he also said that he didn't want to punch him. And Taiju told Hakkai that he cares about him more than anyone else, and he also told Hakkai that he trusts him more than anyone else. And Taiju said that it hurts him when Hakkai doesn't meet his expectations, and then Taiju just told Hakkai that he loves him. And Hakkai was saying that his upbringing made him think that love was supposed to be painful, however when he met Mitsuya his world completely changed. And he said that Mitsuya could have been playing outside with the other kids, however instead he decided to look after his younger sisters. And Hakkai said that it looked like he had a very rough home life, but despite this he was always smiling. And in this scene Mitsuya was asking Hakkai if he is hungry. And Hakkai told Takemichi that when he ate Mitsuya's food it made him cry like a baby, and Mitsuya told Hakkai to use his strength to protect others. And then the episode transitions to showing us a backstory, and in this backstory Hakkai was protecting Yuzuwa from Taiju. And in this backstory Taiju promised not to hit Yuzuwa, however he instantly broke this promise. And then Hakkai told Takemichi that the promise that Taiju made to Mitsuya is meaningless, and Hakkai said that Taiju will never release Yuzuwa. And Hakkai said that he is going to use violence in order to protect his family. And then Hakkai declared that he is going to kill Taiju, and while he was saying this he had a very intense facial expression. Anyway guys, this is where chapter 85 ends, and chapter 86 begins with Hakkai saying that he is prepared to get arrested, and then he told Takemichi not to associate with him. And then Takemichi asked Hakkai why he would tell him this. And Hakkai responded by saying that he has to put his determination into words, and he said that if he didn't tell him, then he would probably get too scared because he is weak like that. And then Hakkai said that he didn't know Takemichi for long, however he enjoyed their friendship. And then after Hakkai walked away we see that Takemichi told Chifuyu that this really makes him very angry. And then Takemichi declared that he is going to crush the black dragons. And Chifuyu said that if they destroy the black dragons then it will definitely change the future, and then Chifuyu also said to count him in. And then this episode switches focus back to Mitsuya, and Mitsuya is meeting up with Yuzuwa. And Mitsuya said that he spoke with Taiju today, and Yuzuwa responded by saying that she already knows. And Yuzuwa said that Taiju has connections to many wealthy people. And when these wealthy people are in trouble, the Black Dragons mobilize their military force, and they get tons of cash as a reward. And Yuzuha said that she was responsible for collecting that money, however today she was freed from that role thanks to Mitsuya. And Mitsuya asked Yuzuha why she has an attitude, and he also said that this was all because of Hakkai trying his best. However, Yuzuha responded to this by getting up in front of Mitsuya, and she said that he is the one who put him up to this. And then Yuzuha started questioning why Hakkai would do this. And Mitsuya told her not to be stupid, and he also said that Hakkai is a lot stronger than she thinks. And then Yuzuha just said, "Thank you Mitsuya, but that expectation has caused a lot of pain before." And in the next scene the anime made a change to the manga, and in this change Mitsuya and Mikey are riding on separate bikes, and in the manga they were riding on the same bike. In the next scene we see that Mikey told Mitsuya that they are already down to half of the founding members. And Mikey said that he doesn't know where he's trying to get anymore. And then Mikey told Mitsuya to never leave Toman. And Mitsuya just responded to this by promising Mikey that he will never disappear. And then the episode switches focus back to the Toman meeting, and Takemichi is telling Draken that he wants to fight the Black Dragons. And Smiley told Takemichi to stop fucking with him, and he also said that he will kill him 1,000,000 times. And Yasuhiro Muto responded to this by saying that if he actually killed someone every time he said that, then he would end the world. And then the next scene shows us a visual of Kisaki and Hanma is just saying that this is very boring. And then Smiley asked Draken what he thinks about this, and Draken responded to this by saying that he will reject their proposal. And Draken said that if they fight the Black Dragons, then that would result in them breaking the truce with Mitsuya, and this would also ruin his reputation. And then in the next scene all the Toman captains have left the meeting, and in this moment Kisaki started approaching Takemichi. And Kisaki told Takemichi to let him join their group. Anyway guys, this is where chapter 86 ends, and chapter 87 begins with Kisaki asking Takemichi if he wants to team up, and he also said that he wants to stop Hakkai. And then Chifuyu got up in front of Kisaki's face, and he told Kisaki that there is no way in hell he would ever work with him. And Kisaki just responded to this by asking Chifuyu if he has a better plan. And Kisaki said that the other Toman captains will never fight against the Black Dragons because of the truce made by Mitsuya. And Kisaki also said that the Black Dragons are way too powerful to be defeated by just 2 people. And Kisaki said that Mikey is weak right now, and he also said that he wants to crush the Black Dragons because they are becoming too powerful. And in this next scene Chifuyu suddenly grabbed a piece of broken glass, and he pointed it right at Kisaki's throat. And then he told Kisaki to show Mikey some respect. And then Chifuyu said, "Even if you are a captain we are still the same age, so don't act like you're better than me." And then in the next scene we see that Hanma suddenly pulled out a knife, and Hanma threatened Takemichi by putting the knife right next to his throat. And Hanma said that infighting is forbidden, and he also said that if they break that rule, then he will have to get violent. And Chifuyu just reacted to this by backing away from Kisaki, and then he asked Hanma why he should work with them. And Kisaki responded to this by saying that he has an informant within the Black Dragons gang. And then Kisaki said that he really hates wasting time, and he told them to come with him. And then the next scene shows us that their group is meeting with the informant, and Kisaki is asking the informant about Taiju Shiba. However, in the next scene Coco suddenly entered the room, and Coco asked them what is going on. And then Coco just said that it smells like a rat is in here. And then Coco started speaking to the informant, and he said that things ended very badly with their last informant. And Coco said that the last informant couldn't handle the torture, and he ended up killing himself. And then Coco started smiling at the informant, and Coco told him that he will be brutally tortured. And then Coco ordered his subordinates to get rid of the informant. And then Coco turned around to the Toman members, and he stuck out his tongue at them, and then Coco asked them what they want to do. And Kisaki just responded to this by saying that they didn't come here to start a fight. And then Coco told them that he will tell them whatever they want for $100,000. And then Kisaki walked right up to Coco, and he just handed him the money. And Kisaki told Coco that he wants to know when Taiju will be alone. However, Coco responded by saying that Taiju is never alone, and he always has 3 soldiers with him, except for one day. And Kisaki asked Coco what day he is talking about. And Coco said that this day is actually Christmas. And Coco said that Taiju is a very devoted Christian, and on Christmas Day he always goes to pray at the church, and he goes all by himself. And Coco asked Kisaki if he wanted to know anything else, and Kisaki responded by saying that this is enough. And then Coco said that Taiju is very strong, and Coco asked them if they think that they can defeat him. And in this moment Takemichi asked Coco why he is betraying Taiju. And Coco responded to this by saying that he just likes strong people, and then Coco said that if they want to know more then they will have to give him more money. And then Kisaki turned to Takemichi, and he said that he didn't want to know when Taiju is alone just so that they could attack him. And then Kisaki said that Hakkai is going to kill Taiju, and Kisaki asked Takemichi when he thinks Hakkai will try to kill Taiju. And Takemichi said that it will be when Taiju is alone, and this will be on Christmas Day. And then Kisaki told Takemichi that he now has the ability to stop Hakkai. And then Takemichi asked Kisaki if this is the reason why he went through all this trouble. And Kisaki just responded to this by asking him what is wrong with going through some trouble to help his teammates. And then Kisaki declared that the four of them will stop Hakkai, and he also said that they will defeat Taiju. And then Kisaki said that the decisive battle will take place on December 25th, and he also said that this battle will be a secret. And this episode ends with Takemichi thinking to himself, and he is wondering what Kisaki is planning. Anyway guys, this is where the episode ends, and this is the end of this video. Anyway guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, and want to see more like it then like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.